Last week, I had the displeasure of watching this thing that attempted to title itself a movie. But that's not the topic at hand today. And look, as much as I would love to dissect this piece of and elaborate to you why it is a piece of cinematic turd, that is not why we're here. I'm gonna dive even deeper than the film ever tried to explore the darkness of another American Civil War. I'm gonna get even darker than that. I'm gonna get on levels that some people are gonna ask, bro, are you taking this a bit too far? By the end of this video, you tell me if my opinion is too far-fetched. You know what's been the driving factor since the infancy of this nation? White supremacy. And I'm not even going back to 1776. I mean since 1609, when white colonizers, also known as spoiled leftover Europeans that didn't want to follow progression, forced their way into what would be known as Jamestown. Since then, white supremacy has been a huge driving factor in the United States when it comes to making laws, government decisions, land theft, food design, and the big one, personality creation. And I'm just scraping the bottom of this cesspool-filled barrel. But to make it clear, white supremacy has always been here, and the unfortunate thing is, it'll probably never go away. It's been crawling around us like these slimy slugs that if they bite you, they remain forever, like permanent leeches. And the funniest thing about this whole thing is that these imbeciles don't understand that they're a f***ing minority. Ironically, there aren't many of them demographically. Luckily, we have more sane people in this country. And that's where the film Civil War comes in. White nationalists, alt-right will go see this movie and be so fueled by it, they'd go home and rub one out to the thought of this film becoming reality. And trust and believe when I tell you this they want this to become reality. Many of them won't say it publicly because they're but some of them actually have. Even in our government have said it. Marjorie Trader Greene said it. And let me not forget the one that reignited all of these thoughts of these Donald Jennifer Trump. As much as some of y'all might think I'm joking, I'm actually not. Any little trigger will literally spark their insane desires. And look, I don't even have to go back far in history. See, we already know that white supremacy was at its pinnacle during that first Civil War in the 1860s, and all the way through the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. But I'm specifically talking about today, modern day. Frankly, I'm talking about the exact moment when that orange mango was inaugurated in 2016. The moment he became president, alt-right, white nationalist, white supremacists knew that they had one of their own in the White House now. And they would do whatever it takes to show how pro-white they really are. It gave them an opportunity to drop their facade and show their hatred publicly, proudly. And let me tell you, man, these people are good. They are good. They convinced black people, Latinos, Hispanics, and even some Asian people to join their pro-white cause. But let me run down a few examples of white supremacy being triggered or, let's say, expressed publicly in the last 7 to 8 years. The first one that comes to mind, unfortunately, hits close to home, literally. Charlottesville, Virginia, August 2017. White supremacists marched down to the University of Virginia, seeping in hatred, carrying their little tiki torches, trying to prove that white people are the most supreme of all the supreme. Supreme, yeah. And another recent trigger of white supremacy, the dismantling of Roe v. Wade. And look, I can already feel you asking, Ghost, what the does Roe v. Wade have anything to do with white supremacy? Well, ladies, gents, and my non-binary friends, I hope you're sitting down. Cause some of y'all might not be aware that 60% of abortions in the United States, that's more than half for you right-wingers that don't know what percentages are. 60% of babies being aborted in the United States are white babies. While black people and Latinos like stoned rabbits. They have like 5-6 kids, and let me tell you, that don't fly with white supremacists. They know that once they get rid of abortion rights, which in some states they already have, more white babies will be alive. And that majority percentile of 73% will remain like that. And many politicians that back this notion are white supremacists too. Don't get that twisted. It has nothing to do with Jesus or God or the baby itself. These politicians want white people to continue running this government. Many of them will deny this. They know white supremacy is bad for their reputation. So they rely on dog whistles and euphemisms to apply to these without showing that they're blatantly on their side. Now, know this. Every single BLM protest was started or ignited by white supremacists, or something that has white supremacy intertwined. The Rodney King tapes started the LA protests. The unaliving of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, all unalived in the hand of white supremacy, triggering nationwide protests. White supremacist Kyle Rittenhouse literally getting away with murder for killing a leftist at a BLM protest. The Muslim ban in 2017. The construction of Build That Wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for. The crisis at the southern border, gassing people for just trying to find refuge. And of course, none of these people were white. And arguably, the most disturbing of all the white supremacist on the horizon, Project 2025. If right-wingers, Republicans, conservatives win in 2024, here at the end of this year, Project 2025 will absolutely be a real thing. And honestly, I believe that there would be nothing that we can do about it, except for vote. Look, I know that things are heated in the world right now. I understand that there's a literal genocide happening on television and nobody's doing a goddamn thing about it. But if you're considering not voting in 2024, I really highly recommend that you check out what Project 2025 is. Google it. Google Project 2025 and see what Republican white supremacists want to make law. And I mean seriously, thoroughly read that whole thing and you'll know exactly why I'm saying this. My point to all of this and how this actually points to the film Civil War is the fact that these people will get fueled by anything that pushes white supremacy. Anything. Anything that puts white supremacy in the forefront. Anything that will spark their sadistic, insane ideas. To convince people to take human rights away, or even worse, unalive others just for not being white. And this movie will absolutely do that. They're already pissed that most leftists are calling this movie out for what it is, a white supremacist trigger and an utter piece of cinematic dog. They say leftists just didn't get it. There's nothing to get in the movie. Nothing happens. Nothing happens in this movie. You know what happens? Here's a quick breakdown. Talk a little bit, then drive. Talk some more, and then drive some more. And you're gonna spend 65% of your time inside a car in a movie titled Civil War. Just don't see this. Don't see this movie. One, because it's trash. And two, if you're not a white nationalist, you'll gain nothing from this atrocity known as cinema. Here's my question, and I want to know what your answer is to this. Do you think white supremacy will ever go away? Comment below, let me know, and I'll see you in the comment section. I think that mental healing and therapy could potentially help some of these people. They're obviously in dire need of mental health help, and I think, in the right circumstances, these people could be helped. See, the problem is, in this country, mental health is not just on the back burner, it isn't even on the stove. They could give a about mental health here. They don't take mental health here seriously at all, and some people think it isn't even real. It's all in your head, they say. Anybody that says it's just in your head needs massive amount of therapy. Leave your thoughts below, man. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. And if you need more of my series, Republicans Say the Darndest Things, check out my next video right here. And if you can, please support the channel on Patreon, my friends. I will leave those links, as always, right here in this link and in the description below. I really hope to see you there. Get early access to all of my videos, private lives, private podcasts, and much more. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly leftist progressive videos. And I am